The movie begins in a war zone in Iraq. A group of al-Qaeda fighters has captured several American soldiers. A Marine named John Triton watches from far away. His commanders tell him to wait for backup and not to act. But when John sees the soldiers are about to be killed, he ignores the order. Kills all the enemies and saves the hostages. The next day, John is called to meet his colonel. Instead of being rewarded, he is given a resignation letter for disobeying orders. John tries to explain why he did it, but the colonel stops him. He thanks John for his service, calls him one of the best Marines, and sends him home.
Colonel, I'm a Marine. One of the best. Remember that.
Broken and lost, John returns home to California. His wife, Kate, is very happy to see him safe. They spend time together and reconnect, but John feels empty inside. He struggles to adjust to normal life. To stay busy, John takes a job as a security guard. Kate supports him and reminds him that life won't be easy, but promises they will face it together. The next day, a criminal mastermind named Rome prepares for a jewelry store robbery. Inside the store, his partners, Morgan, Viscera, and Bennett, wait for his signal. Rome pretends to browse diamonds before suddenly pulling a gun and forcing everyone to the ground.
Everybody down.
He creates a distraction by taking a woman named Angela hostage. The diamonds are secured behind bulletproof glass, so Rome threatens the store owner, demanding access, or Angela dies.
I have children!
Once the door is opened, Rome hands Angela a gun, revealing she's part of the crew. They grab the diamonds and move to leave, but when the store owner recognizes Rome, Rome shoots him without hesitation. As the criminals flee, police arrive. Rome opens fire with a machine gun, while Morgan riddles the patrol car with bullets. They blow it up and escape. Later, investigators suspect an inside job. The same diamonds delivered just 24 hours ago. Meanwhile, John starts his new job at a large corporation. The work is dull and uneventful, especially with his lazy coworker Joe, who spends most of his time reading magazines. Joe claims he'll be promoted to management in 2 years, until John learns Joe has been stuck in the same position for 9 years. Things escalate when they're called to the 12th floor, where a wealthy executive is throwing a violent tantrum over his ex-girlfriend. John is forced to physically drag the man out. When the man's bodyguards intervene and taunt John, a fight breaks out. John easily defeats them and throws the executive through a window. Enraged, the man threatens John.
Tomorrow, don't be late. Because when you clock in, you're fired!
Sure enough, John loses the job on his very first day. During a break, John opens up to Joe, admitting that the military was his entire life, and he doesn't know how to be normal. Joe comforts him, reminding him that life changes whether you're ready or not.
But your life's not over. I mean, it's changing, but you gotta learn to change with it.
Back at their hotel, Angela worries that the jewelry store massacre put them all at risk. Rome explains he had no choice. The manager recognized him. He reassures her that she's safe with him and promises he'd never hurt her. They begin kissing passionately when Rome receives a call. The caller demands the diamonds in exchange for $6 million. They agree to meet the next day. Later, Joe drops John off at home. John asks him to keep the incident quiet, and Joe agrees. When John gets inside, Kate asks about his day. John lies and says everything went fine, until the news breaks on TV, showing footage of the violent altercation. Kate immediately realizes the security officer was John. Seeing how broken he is, Kate suggests they take a trip to clear their heads. John hesitates, but eventually agrees. The next day, Morgan picks up a vehicle for the crew. Though advised to take a minivan, he steals a brand new Cadillac instead. At the same time, John and Kate head toward the mountains. They stop at a gas station for snacks, unaware it's the same station Rome and his crew pull into. While John is inside, police arrive. Rome calmly chats with the officer. but Morgan panics and shoots him in the head. Rome has no choice but to kill the second officer. Inside the store, Bennett knocks John unconscious while Angela shoots the clerk. The crew decides to steal John's truck and notices Kate waiting in the car. They take her hostage as insurance, just as John begins to regain consciousness. He watches helplessly as Kate is dragged away. Morgan shoots the gas tank, causing a massive explosion. Somehow, John survives. He helps a wounded officer, steals a police cruiser, radios for backup, and gives a description. 4 men, 1 woman, southbound on I-95, in a black Navigator. Rome realizes John is pursuing them and orders his crew to open fire. Bullets rain down, but John's military instincts keep him focused. Rome attempts to run him off the road, but John refuses to back down. The chase ends near a cliff. Rome forces John off the edge, and the car explodes mid-air. The criminals assume John is dead. Kate screams and accuses them of murder, triggering Angela's rage. She points a gun at Kate, but Rome stops her. She's our insurance. With their vehicle destroyed, the group argues until Rome forces them to focus. They head into the swamps to escape. When Kate insults Angela, Angela knocks her unconscious.
Angie, why'd you do that? Now Morgan's gotta carry her.
Meanwhile, Detective Van Buren arrives at the gas station and hears John's radio transmission. Soon after, he's alerted to the cliff crash and heads toward the scene. As Detective Van Buren arrives at the scene, John suddenly emerges, alive. He immediately tells Van that his wife has been kidnapped. Van insists the case is now under police jurisdiction and warns John that the criminals he's chasing are extremely dangerous. He orders him to stand down. John refuses. Nothing is going to stop him from saving his wife. Van studies him for a moment, then quietly changes his tone. "I've seen what these guys can do. You'd better hurry." Without hesitation, John heads back into the wilderness. Elsewhere, Rome and his crew push through the swamp, dragging Kate along as she fights back against her captors. Angela slaps her again, and Bennett restrains Kate tightly. Morgan, frustrated and exhausted, starts arguing with Viscera, blaming him for everything that's gone wrong. The argument quickly escalates. Without warning, Rome shoots Viscera dead. The group freezes in shock. They continue moving. John pushes deeper into the woods and soon reaches the spot where Viscera was killed. The body is gone, devoured by hungry alligators. As John moves on, Rome receives a furious call from his boss, who berates him for the chaos he's caused. Rome insists they're keeping the diamonds, claiming they did all the work. His boss warns him there will be consequences. Before Rome can respond, the sound of a helicopter closes in. He hangs up and signals the group to run. As they trek through the swamp, Morgan starts complaining again about how dangerous everything is. Rome snaps at him to shut up, then suddenly turns to Kate and asks what she thinks. She doesn't hesitate. "You're insane." Rome smirks, calling her beautiful, and says he might have had a chance with her if it weren't for Angela. Meanwhile, John senses danger as he reaches a clearing. A net snaps up beneath him, but he quickly cuts himself free. A man steps out and holds him at gunpoint, accusing him of being a cop. John insists he isn't. When the man refuses to believe him, John forces him to drop the weapon. Before John can explain he's searching for his wife, another man knocks him unconscious from behind. Nearby, police units close in on the criminals. Position. Kate tries to scream, but Bennett clamps a hand over her mouth. John wakes up tied to a chair inside a shed. 2 men are interrogating and torturing him, convinced he's an undercover cop.
I got choppers buzzing around here. I got you sneaking up our asses. And you're not a cop.
John denies it until he changes tactics. He pretends to confess, claiming he's a cop, and that his team is tracking him via GPS. The men panic. That's all John needs.
They're tracking my GPS right now.
GPS? I told you to search it. I did!
He snaps the chair apart, knocks one man out cold, and brutally fights the other before escaping back into the forest. Though he's lost their trail, John refuses to stop. Eventually, he reaches a river and spots Rome's group entering an abandoned hut with Kate. Inside, they realize the power is out. Rome orders Morgan to find a generator. Terrified, Morgan jokes nervously about masked killers in the woods, then embarrassingly recalls a humiliating childhood memory. The others laugh at him, but he finally heads out. Morgan finds the generator and turns it on, only for John to attack him from behind. A brutal fight follows. Morgan smashes a bottle over John's head, but John kills him with a blade. Rome steps outside to make a call, arranging a getaway vehicle and a boat at the marina. He sends Bennett to check on Morgan and start a nearby boat. Bennett never makes it back. John ambushes him, and after a vicious fight, kills him as well. John hides both bodies beneath the hut. At that moment, Detective Van Buren arrives. He tells John to step aside and let the police handle it. John refuses. "I gotta do something, and I gotta do it now." Van hesitates, then backs off, giving John silent permission. John cuts the power, creating a distraction that allows Kate to escape the hut. Angela catches her, and the two women fight fiercely. Kate briefly gains the upper hand, but Angela recaptures her at gunpoint. John climbs through a window and confronts Rome. Suddenly, Van Buren steps in and orders Rome to drop his weapons. Van demands the diamonds. Rome calmly suggests Van shoot John instead. To John's horror, Van slowly turns his gun toward him.
Give me my damn diamonds!
Whoa, calm down, VB.
The truth is revealed. Van has been working with Rome all along. Van hesitates for just a second. That's enough. John lunges, using Van as a shield as Rome opens fire. In the chaos, Rome escapes and reunites with Angela, who still has Kate. To cover their escape, Rome shoots a fuel tank, blowing the shack apart. John barely escapes, crashing through a window and into the river. As he surfaces, a Coast Guard officer tries to arrest him. John overpowers the officer, takes the boat, and continues the chase. Rome steals Van's car, but is soon forced to abandon it. On foot, Angela stops a truck driver and asks for help. She then kills him and takes his truck. While on the water, John hears a radio report about the truck driver's death. He remembers Rome's earlier phone call and realizes they are heading to Rita's marina. John arrives just in time and jumps onto the moving truck. He grabs Angela by the neck and throws her through the windshield, killing her instantly. The stolen diamonds spill all over the road. Rome drives the truck through several shacks, trying to knock John off. John holds on for a while but is eventually thrown off. The truck crashes into a building and explodes. Rome escapes, leaving Kate handcuffed inside the truck. John dives into the water, pulls Kate out of the sinking truck, and gives her CPR. After a few tense moments, she starts breathing again. Just when they think it's over, a badly burned Rome appears and attacks John with a chain. They fight, but John takes control of the chain and kills Rome by cutting his throat. With the danger finally over, John and Kate hug and share a kiss. The police arrive, and John, tired but relieved, jokes that they should have gone to the beach instead. They laugh together, thankful to be alive. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time.